On today's episode of BNN,
we interview our soccer team about their team camaraderie.
We dive into the legacy of a rooster in Florida.
We get an inside look on a local business in Tampa, Florida.
And BNN starts now.
Good morning, Bulldogs.
Welcome back to another episode of BNN. I'm your anchor, Emily Velasco.
And I'm your anchor, Amir Jabber.
On this week's show, it'll be a bit different from our regular episode because we will be having a special Florida segment that will be covered by our executive producers, Stanley Palacios and Kylie Chow, coming up.
It's been a while since we last saw you guys, but we are so excited to be back.
Starting off, UNICEF is hosting their karaoke night tonight at 5:30 in the cafeteria, so make sure to go and show off your singing skills.
Our annual art show will be held all next week, so be sure to stop by and check out the work of our talented artists here on campus.
Speaking of talent, robotics has their first competition starting today. We wish them good luck as our Bulldogs compete in LA.
In celebration of Pi Day, our Math Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, will be giving out pies during lunch. Recite the first 10 digits of pi to get a free slice of pie.
Prom ticket sales start on Monday, and the early bird prices are $125 with ASB, $135 without ASB, and $145 for guests. Seniors, online voting is on Tuesday to select your prom court, so make sure to vote.
Are you interested in being in leadership? Class council officer petitions are due on Monday, and speeches will be held on Thursday. ASB applications are currently open as well.
Last Wednesday, our school held a simulation of the consequences of drinking and driving. It started in the morning with an announcement speaking on the issue of someone dying every 15 minutes due to driving under the influence. During third period, students, parents, and law enforcement were outside witnessing a car crash where the driver under the influence survived and got arrested while one died. Although this is a simulation, this is an issue that can be reduced, so make sure to be responsible and limit all distractions.
We would like to honor a freshman who has recently passed away due to organ failure. On February 18th, K.E. Chen passed away at Children's Hospital Los Angeles. His memorial service took place last Saturday at Rose Hills. In the words of Captain Acuna Perez, he notes that the ceremony was beautiful. K.E. was an AFJ-ROTC cadet and intended to join the boys' golf team in the spring. He aspired to join the U.S. Army just like his grandfather. For additional details regarding the impact that K.E. Chen left behind, see our school's Insight Program's Editor-in-Chief, Cassandra Aguirre's story at WCHS Insight on Instagram. We wish his family and friends well in a time of grief.
Shifting to the topic of sports, DiMaggio Baez, Vanessa Garcia, and I got an inside look on our seniors' last soccer season. Let's check it out.
As the boys and girls soccer season has come to an end, we got an insight into their season, how they balance their personal life with athletics, and how soccer has impacted their lives. Let's see these players' experiences after their season.
The most challenging part about balancing school and soccer is managing my time, because I usually put soccer practice over academics, so I usually go to sleep really late.
What soccer means to me personally is my brother used to play when he was little, and I've always really looked up to my brother. I saw how it shaped him, and to be more out there, more open with who he is as a person. I thought I would want the same for me as well.
Through soccer, these players have learned skills necessary to both balance school and their sport, as well as improving their personal growth.
I'd say I'm more of a leader on and off the field now, and I'll speak up about what I think more.
For soccer, it means everything to me. Ever since I was a kid, it's always something I've dreamed of, something I've always passionate about. It taught me with my studies, and it's my motivation every day.
If I could train with one professional player, it had to be Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo. He's been my favorite player for the longest. He's been my role model. So just training with him and just learning everything would be everything to me.
Throughout their high school career, these players have also cultivated the work ethic necessary to succeed later in life.
It shaped me to work harder, to be very disciplined and doing other things.
Thank you to the boys and girls soccer team for their time, and congratulations on a great season. This is DiMaggio Baez with BNN.
Hey Bulldogs, I'm your executive producer, Kylie Chow.
And I'm your executive producer, Stanley Palacios. Thank you, DiMaggio, for that amazing highlight of our soccer team. We love seeing how their team became a family and ended their season on a great note.
I hope you are all enjoying this show so far. Recently, we got the opportunity to go to the annual Student Television Network convention in Tampa, Florida.
That's right, Kylie. We, Belinda Parra and Charlene Bedolas, represented BNN among hundreds of other broadcast journalism representatives from schools all around the country.
This convention took place over the span of 4 days, and it was such a great experience to get to know other students as well as the Floridian locals.
We entered a competition that required the four of us to make a whole 8-minute episode, just like the one you're watching right now, in only under 8 hours.
We had to plan our news packages, write our anchor copies, go out and film the city and our interviews, and edit all of that in our hotel room. It was such a crazy, stressful, yet fun experience.
Thankfully, we got it done and submitted it within the last 30 seconds. To give you an inside look, Charlene Bedolas created a montage showing a slice of our trip. Take it away, Char.
What a great montage. What was your favorite part about the trip, Zenly?
Definitely was sightseeing. We visited a small town located in Tampa called Centro Ybor, where they had a rich Cuban culture.
We asked locals about the town's history as well as the abundance of roosters that were wandering around the streets. Turns out there was a folklore dedicated to a rooster and his quaint impact on the quaint community.
Coming up, we gain a bit more insight on James E. Rooster and his legacy in the town of Centro Ybor.
In the small town of Central Ybor, there was a particular story that brought many together in a time of grief. In 1997, there was a famous rooster, James E. Rooster, that was quite popular with the locals. Due to a tragic accident, he was killed. However, a man wanted to celebrate the rooster's life by giving it a New Orleans-style funeral. He found a way to integrate the liveliness of New Orleans to the quaint town of Central Ybor. Roosters were brought by Cuban immigrants in the late 19th century. Recently, Zenly Palacios spoke to a Cuban local about his experience of coming to Tampa, Florida.
As one of the largest immigrant groups in the United States, their experience contributes to the making of the Floridian culture. ¿Y para usted por qué es importante enseñar su cultura a las otras?
Bueno, nosotros llevamos aquí 62 años de Cuba y entonces la cultura de uno es la raíz de quién somos nosotros. Y entonces es importante celebrar el país donde estamos viviendo, pero al mismo tiempo no olvidar de la cultura donde hemos venido.
Gracias. Gracias. Bye. It's important to share places like these to highlight similar experiences. Through understanding, sharing, and celebrating cultural heritage, we all contribute to building a more inclusive and connected community. This is Zenly Palacios reporting from Tampa, Florida with BNN.
It was quite fascinating to learn about the history behind roosters from Tampa, Florida.
Speaking of incorporating one's culture into the city of Tampa, we got the opportunity to discover a local breakfast business who is famous for their New York-style breakfast sandwiches.
Bacon, Egg, and Cheese was established last year, and I had the chance to interview the owner, Karin, to gain more insight on his journey of starting a small business with his family. Let's check it out. In downtown Tampa, there is a local family-owned breakfast sandwich business called Bacon, Egg, and Cheese. Karin Arroya and his wife established Bacon, Egg, and Cheese in 2024 after being inspired by their fondness of New York-style breakfast food.
We gave it a shot. This is actually behind us is the first truck that we started with. Now we have 3 trucks. Within a year, it just blew up.
Karin notes that despite the early hardships of starting a business, he was able to partner with a bakery in New York that was able to deliver bread on a weekly basis, making his sandwiches authentic as possible.
The only way we could make this work was to make sure that the bread was from New York.
So what inspired you to bring that New York culture to Florida?
As a New Yorker, when it comes to food, it's very diverse. It was a little hard to find that diversity here, at least in Tampa. We kind of just wanted to give it a shot.
Although their initial plans were to keep it as a side project, the Arroyo family dedicated their full time to making their business thrive.
We're hoping to grow even more as the time comes.
That's really cool. There are many challenges that may come to running a small business. Due to the hurricane disasters occurring in Florida quite often, it has been proven to be a challenge to not only local businesses, but people living in Florida. Karin takes a week off of every month to give back to the community during these harsh times.
You know, we do about 50 to 60 sandwiches to kind of like take care of the community. And we were kind of just helping out with feeding the people, helping with the debris and all the cleanup.
Do you have any words of wisdom to anyone who wants to start up a local business?
Just do it. At least Tampa is super food truck friendly, and you know, anywhere around the country is, if you feel like doing it, just do it.
Thank you to Karin for sharing his story. This is Kali Chow with BNN.
We wish Karin and his family the best of luck with bacon, egg, and cheese.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, Bulldogs. If you want to rewatch this episode or any previous episodes, make sure to follow us on Instagram at WCHS_digital media or subscribe to our YouTube channel, WCHS Digital Media.
With that being said, I'm your anchor, Santli Palacios.
And I'm your anchor, Kali Chow.
And we'll see you next time on BNN. Yay!